I want to start this chat off with something that I wrote about discipline. And once again, it's titled "Discipline is the Commodity of Kings." And so it says, we live in a world where uncertainty seems like the norm, and because of this uncertainty, we see people experiencing so much pain, anxiety, and fear. When put under a microscope, we realize that most of this uncertainty comes from people's daily routines or lack of. Most people are reactive to their environments. They wake up after hitting the snooze button 10 times. They rush to the shower. They throw on the first thing they see in their closet, and they rush out the door. Sound familiar? The rest of the day seems like a reaction to whatever the environment throws at them. The disciplined person has a very different experience. Their reaction towards the environment is proactive. They have all sorts of routines, habits, and plans that are premeditated, sometimes a year, weeks, or months prior to the event. These routine habits give them a sense of peace, control, solace, and it allows them to create successful outcomes. In layman terms, discipline is the ability to proactively structure and take action on those difficult tasks before they become difficult. Discipline is the commodity of kings. Structure your life, habits, and routines, and the many pangs of life will minimize significantly. So guys, one of the things that I often say is that life without discipline is just chaotic, right? If you are one of these people that lacks discipline, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Being able to have specific habits, routines, things in place on a daily basis significantly minimizes any kind of issues in your life. Regardless of what we're talking about, we could be talking about your career, we could be talking about your spiritual life, we can be talking about physiology, your body, your diet. If you're lacking discipline, you're going to hurt in those areas. By the grace of God, I was wired from a very young age to be disciplined. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that I grew up in the early 80s, and martial arts was a big thing, and I loved martial arts. So one of the things my parents did for me was they actually put me in a karate studio because I was getting in trouble in school all the time. I was fighting. I was getting kicked out of schools. I've told this story before. I got kicked out of four schools before the age of 12. I was a problem child, right? And so my mom had to figure out a way to channel some of that energy, and she put me in a karate studio. And it wasn't any karate studio. It was actually one of the top karate studios in the world. My sensei, my instructor, was a Afro-American older male who had been through Vietnam. He was a Vietnam vet. He was actually a Purple Heart in Vietnam, and he was held hostage there. He was behind enemy lines, and he got caught, and he spent several years in one of these camps in Vietnam. And so he developed a lot of discipline, and he was a very strong man. He had a lot of grit, not just physically, but in his mind, right? And he had a way to teach discipline that was just unique, very unique to him. And he would sit us down and he would tell us these stories, these horror stories of what the camp was like, what the prison in Vietnam was like, and how much hunger they were always hungry, and they were always being punished and beaten with bamboo sticks, and so he would tell us these stories, and here we are, these American kids. At the time I was probably 7, 8, 9 years old, and I remember just thinking about that and going, oh my God, that's horrible. But being able to hear this man's stories really compelled me to do better, to want to have disciplines in place, because I looked up to him. I wanted to be like him. I didn't have a dad figure, so a father figure. So this man became my father figure. And when he would tell me these stories, I was so inspired to be better and to do better. And I guess that carried on for the rest of my life. And I'm very thankful for those lessons because, truly, whether it's in my physical life, in my spiritual life, in my marriage life, wherever, these things have really carried me through. And so I have a lot of crazy routines in place in my life. You would probably think I'm insane. I wake up super early. I don't want to talk too much about that because I don't want you to think I'm tooting my horn, but I just want to give an example of why I do these things. I wake up early because when I wake up super early, my phone's not going off. No one's calling me. No one's getting my attention. I am all alone, right? I usually get up by 4 a.m. in the morning. By 6 a.m., I've done more than the vast majority of people will do all day because I get up that early. Now, the question is always, well, you don't like to sleep. No, I like to sleep. If it were up to me, I'd stay in bed, till the last minute, right? But it's so painful for me to get up late and know that I could have done an hour or 2 hours of whether it's my devotional time or my reading time or my meditation time or work that I have to do, things that I have to set up for my phone calls, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's my warm up for the day. I get up at 4 a.m. By 6 a.m. I've done so many things. It's pretty crazy. So I have 7 things. If you're not a disciplined person, if you struggle with discipline, if this is something that you're like, man, I just really, really need help. I wish I was more disciplined than X, Y, Z. I'm going to give you 7 things that you can do to start nourishing discipline that I know for sure, if you follow them diligently, they're going to help you in all aspects of life. If you've hung around me long enough, I constantly say that how you do anything is how you do everything, right? How you do the most minimal thing in your life is how you're going to do the biggest thing in your life, okay? So I'm going to give you 7 things that you can start doing right away that can help you towards your discipline. Number 1 thing is I want you to do one thing you have to do on a daily basis that you dislike, but that if you do that one thing, you're going to be happy, you're going to be satisfied, and things are going to go well. That could be exercising. That could be going for a walk. Maybe you're like, I just don't have the time. I don't like it. Maybe it's food prep, right? Maybe you get caught halfway through the week trying to follow some diet, but you can't because you never food prep, right? So I want you to pick one thing. Maybe it's spending more time being more intentional with your kids, right? Because you're always busy and the end of the week goes by and you're like, man, I really haven't spent quality time with my kids or my wife or my husband. And so you want to set that in place. You want to pick one thing, right? Let's start small. Let's pick one thing that you can do on a daily basis that you don't want to do, but that if you do that one thing, that you're going to be happy, you're going to be satisfied, and you're going to feel like you got something accomplished, okay? So we're going to start with one small task. Pick one thing, not 2, not 3, one thing, okay? Then I want you to find someone in your circle of influence to keep you accountable. I want you to find a friend, a neighbor, a family member, or your spouse, someone to keep you accountable for that one thing you're trying to do, okay? Now hear me out. We have this tendency to want to do a bunch of things at the same time. I don't want you to do a bunch of things. I want you to do one thing. I want you to find one person you trust and you respect that is going to keep you accountable for that one thing. And you're going to tell that person, hey, here's what I'm trying to achieve. Can you please keep me accountable? Can we set a meeting on Friday where you basically ask me if I did that one thing or not? Okay? Guys, this is so incredibly powerful. Find that one person. Number 3, you want to journal your wins. Okay? So if you decided that every single day you're going to get up and you're going to do a 30-minute walk or a 20-minute walk, okay? And you did it Monday through Friday, and you got on that accountability call with that one person you picked, and you say, hey, guess what? I did my walk 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, okay? I want you to start journaling that, okay? I started on Monday, May 22nd, and it's, Monday, May 30th, and I've been walking 30 minutes a day every single day. I want you to start journaling that. There's a lot of power behind actually writing things down, okay? Your retention also goes up, all right? Remember this, anytime you write something down, you retain things 70% more than if you didn't. But then also, it gives you another, you take it out of your head and you put it on a piece of paper, you materialize it on a piece of paper, and it becomes even more of a reality to you. So journal that win, okay? 4th, I want you to post your commitment on Facebook, Instagram, on some social platform. I want you to say, here's what I'm going to do for the next 5 days. Please hold me accountable. After those 5 days, you go and you post again and you say, hey, I did it or I didn't. You got to be honest with yourself. If you didn't do it, post it and say, hey guys, on Monday I posted XYZ and I didn't get it done, right? Call yourself out. And you're going to see how incredibly well that works. Place a money bet on yourself, okay? People have a very high regard for money, right? Sometimes more than their well-being. It's crazy, okay? Take $100 and give it to a total stranger and say, hey, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And if I don't do this thing you can keep the $100. Okay. Actually, the person that you pick as your accountability partner, that's who you should give that money to. And make sure it's not 20 bucks, because you can just give 20 bucks away. Do $100. $100 is not a lot of money for you. Then do 500 bucks. Do something that hurts, that you know that you don't want that person to keep. Okay. So you give that person some money, $100, $200, $300, $500. You know, if you're balling, do 1,000. Give them $1,000 and say, hey, I need to do this. And if I don't do it for the next, XYZ time, you can keep that money. Okay. Place a money bet on yourself. 6, befriend disciplined people. Find disciplined people in your circle of influence and befriend these people. Okay. Success leaves clues. You're going to be, if you're going to be around these people, you're going to start to see how they structure their life, and you're going to see how they have success blueprints in their life, and you're going to want to follow those things, right? What's the saying? We are we are an accumulation of the 5 people we hang out with the most, or something like that. I just butchered the saying, but you know what I mean. Pick the people in your life that you know are extremely disciplined, that are doing well in life, that have structure. Okay, pick their brain. Hey, how do you do that? Hey, I'm struggling. Can you help me do that? That person actually would be a great accountability partner for you right there, right? And then last but not least, wake up before 6 a.m. I know some of you just rolled your eyes at me. Wake up before 6 a.m. I want you to look at a book called The 5 a.m. Club. All right. I laugh at The 5 a.m. Club because I actually get up way before the 5 a.m.ers. But it's a great book. If you have the time, read it. If you have Audible, download Audible and listen to The 5 a.m. Club. But here's the trick, right? If you wake up before 6 a.m., let's say maybe you got to be at work at 8 or 9. You wake up at 6 a.m. You have maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours where you can be super, super productive. Now, I don't know anyone that wakes up at 4 or 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning and they watch Netflix. It just doesn't happen, right? And if you're doing that, then you have other issues and you need to watch the next video I'm going to shoot. But bottom line is, when you wake up that early, you don't waste time. You're not doing, you're not sitting around idle. You're actually doing things, right? Wake up before 6 a.m. Get your day going. If you like coffee, set some coffee up. Take out a little pad like this. Start writing down the things that you want to do for the day. Okay? Write them down. Boom. And then just start checking things off as the day goes on. That's also super powerful, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction. Okay? So I want to leave you with that. Discipline is the commodity of kings. If you become more disciplined, I promise your life will be so much easier. You'll be so much more successful. And the things that you're trying to bring to fruition will be at the palm of your hand. So discipline is pivotal to your happiness. You want to be happy, you got to become disciplined. And I know that the word discipline, people cringe when I say discipline. Most people don't like discipline. It goes against the grain, right? Discipline is something that you know you need to do that you don't want to do, right? And so, of course, people cringe, people resist it. But when you actually start doing, you actually start executing, and you become a disciplined person, your life starts to go better. You start to attract other people into your life, good people into your life. You start to attract those kind of people that you want in your life. And then you start to be an inspiration to others, right? And then you can start helping people, because I can tell you right now that the vast majority of people lack discipline. Hence the reason the world is the way it is. If everyone were disciplined, then we wouldn't have any problems, okay? Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below. If you got some value from this, comment below. #value, #I'm doing it, #discipline. Any of those hashtags work. Melvin, good to see you. Mr. Batman, good to see you on here. Hi, hey Monica, good to see you. I have a couple other people. Erica Menard, how's everyone doing? Hey, I hope you got something out of this. #value, #doing it, #discipline. Let me know that you are enjoying these, and we'll do more of them. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an amazing, amazing weekend. I love you guys, and God bless you.